I read a blurb on Seth Godin's blog recently that I want to share with you and then expand on together. The reason why it was so poignant to me is it was kind of like a karate palm strike to my solar plexus when I read it. The title was, What Did You Expect? It was something like this. If you run a rush delivery company, expect that customers will be rushed. If you run a health food restaurant, expect that your customers will be finicky about the ingredients that you use. If you run a preschool, expect that your users will act like little children at times. If you offer urgent consulting services for clients in trouble, expect that they will be stressed and want you to work all night. If you treat people with mental health issues, expect that they'll not always be patient and long-term thinkers. Sometimes we get what we expect and still complain about it. It's a feature, though, not a bug. At the time that I read it, I had been frustrated why my team wasn't stepping up to lead enough, why they weren't thinking about what's next instead of what was just right in front of them, why they weren't acting more like owners. But what did I expect when I employed an A-team who worked for our company? At the same time, I was bugged that my wife was so sensitive and needy for my time and attention. But what did I expect when I got married? And at the time, I was also wondering why I had to spell things out so specifically for some of the clients we mentor. Why did they need to be told exactly what to do instead of just figuring it out on their own? But what did I expect when I started a mentoring and training company? You see, this applies to you no matter what you do. Your kids whining and crying and screaming and driving you nuts. Well, what did you expect when you wanted to have kids? Your boss being demanding. What did you expect when you signed the employment contract and took their paycheck? Your client wants your time, attention, and prompt return phone call. Well, what did you expect when they gave you their business? Your friend wants your time, attention, and a prompt return phone call. Well, what did you expect when you gave them your friendship? So, when we get what we should expect, let's not complain about it anymore. You've made the choice to do it. Now you have to make the choice to deal with it happily. As Seth put it, it's a feature, not a bug. So share with us, what did this remind you of? Based on what you do or the other choices you've made on how you live, what perceived negatives do you have to just expect as part of the deal? Notate that in your Darren Daily Journal and tell us your comments in the comment section below. So Brad says, Doctor, I don't know what to do. Every day my wife seems to lose her temper for no reason, and it scares me. The doctor says, I have a cure for that. When it seems that your wife is getting angry, just take a glass of water and start swishing it in your mouth. Just swish and swish, but don't swallow it until she either leaves the room or calms down. 2 weeks later, Brad comes back to the doctor looking fresh and reborn. Brad says, Doctor, that was a brilliant idea. Every time my wife started losing it, I just swished the water. I swished and I swished, and she calmed right down. How does a glass of water do that? The doctor says the water itself does nothing. It's keeping your mouth shut that does the trick. An old woman named Diane says, Doctor, I have this bizarre condition. I fart all the time, but they don't smell and they're completely silent. You probably didn't notice, but I farted 6 times since you've entered the room. The doctor nods and writes a script. Take these and come back in a week. A week later, the old lady Diane comes back to the doctor. You terrible man. I don't know what you gave me, but it just made everything worse. I still fart all the time, but they are still silent, but they all stink. The doctor nods and says, well, we cleared your sinuses out. Now let's see what we can do about your hearing. You know, I want to die like my grandpa, sleeping peacefully, not desperately screaming like the people in the bus that he was driving. All right, have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll see you on the flip side.